Now this next thing we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on bending your guitar strings, which is a thing that's rather important as well. A bend is, you have half-step bends, whole-step bends, 1.5-step bends, two-note bends, and it's very difficult to do that correctly. So for instance, if I have this note and I need to get it up one note higher, that doesn't mean it's going to go like this, because that's a half step. This would be a whole step. 1.5 should be this note. Then 2 notes will be this note. You go like, but this one note of difference, or 1/2 note, there's so many in-betweens that are just good or just not good. So it's kind of a hard time to concentrate on that, to get that right. And then once you have this bent note, you try to do this little vibrato at the end as well. You see? And same thing if I do it here. Make every note, try to make every note you play as long as you can. Because I could do this the same way, like making it very short in time. But all these kind of little stops, they make it sound very unmusical. Like if you go... Make it more natural. Now, so coming back to the next exercise, which is a bending exercise for your left hand with a tapping note for the right hand. For instance, it goes like this. If you're in D minor, we go like... Something like that. What I'm doing here is I'm bending just in the D minor pentatonic scale. I'm bending up a note, and I'm tapping on the 15th fret. Then if I start bending, vibrating with my left hand, I can vibrate the note which is fretted by my right hand. So, something like that. Same thing here. What I'm doing is just the D minor pentatonic scale, which will have that note in the next position. I'm bending up this note, and I know the 22nd fret is a D note, but because I bent this note, the 15th fret, to the 17th already, I'm at 2 notes higher, so I got to tap on the 20th fret, which makes it like this. Like this. So, slowly again. Which is all in the D minor scale. Now another thing, and this involves big stretches of your left hand, is a 4-note sequence. 4 notes with your right hand, which goes with your left hand. 4 fingers, 4 notes. For instance, I'll be starting on the 12th, the 15th, the 17th, and the 19th. Once again, if I turn my guitar, the same thing. I have a big stretch, so I'm going to use my thumb to get control on every finger that I'm playing. It's important to get my control, to get the force in all 4 fingers. It's not going to work like this, because I get this cramp feeling. I got to do it like this. So, if I'm going to do what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a 5th note with my right hand. So in total we have this. So every note has to be the same in length. It's not easy to do that. Now this next one is going to be on an A minor scale. It's one of my favorite licks. involves a flatted 5 note to start on A. So we have 11, 12, 15, and we're going to tap on 17. So we have this. Then we're going to add two notes with the left hand, which will be first the 13th fret of the B string. So we have. And then we're going to add the 14th note of the 14th fret of the G string, which will be that. So we have two different notes jumping all the time. We have. So slow again. Same thing for my right hand. I'm just doing. That's where I'm hitting my string. Then that's where I'm hitting again. Now in this next exercise we're going to use a different scale. Up till now we've been talking about A minor scale, basically in A harmonic scale. We've been doing some exercises on. We added a few notes like a B, like a flat 5 on the A minor scale. What we're going to do now is we're going to change scales completely. We're going to go through a diminished kind of shape, which is a shape you use on a diminished chord. Now, if you think about a diminished chord, you got to think about chord shapes, which I'm going to do after the techniques section we're doing now. But mainly, if you're playing distorted guitar, this would be a power chord, and a diminished kind of scale would go on this kind of chords. You say like, I'm never going to use that. It sounds ugly and awful, but it doesn't. Because if you use it like. It gets a lot more meaning. So what I'm doing here, I'm using the flat 5 on the D chord, which would be A flat. So I'm going to use the A flat. I'm going to look for this A flat on this guitar, which will be here. And the thing I'm doing here is I'm playing the 7th fret on the G string, then the 10th, then the 13th, then 7, 10 and 13 on the E string, so it's exactly the same shape, and I'm tapping the 16th fret on the E string as well to add another note, which goes like. So in total, I have this. Which goes on this chord. Okay, another exercise on that. It kind of makes it sound like some sort of pinball wizard kind of thing. Anyway, it's diminished kind of scale again. I'm skipping up one position. I'm going to the E part. So what I'm doing now is I'm playing 9, 12, 15 on all the strings. So I'm using a few different diminished scales at the same time. That, and I'm playing the 18th fret. I'm tapping every time when I'm playing that. So what I could do basically is just tap those notes and make some exercises going. Like, but that doesn't have much sense because you hear too much what I'm doing. So if I mix them up a little, I go from 18 to 21 and I jump a string and I do the same thing and I jump back to the A string and I'm going to jump to the G string. Then I'm going to jump back, then I'm going to go further, then I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to go further. For instance, I go like. Makes it sound weird. Something like that. Or we could finish up by doing bending up with this finger. So we go like, for instance, if we go like this. If we do that fast, we go. Then again over this kind of chord. Sounds natural. Another thing, we're going to go to the A minor harmonic scale again. We're going to use tap slides. So what we're going to do with your right hand is you're going to slide some tap-ins. We have, for instance, we have this. So what I have here is 10, 12, 13, then 16, 17, 16. Then go back. Then go to the next string. And stop at this note, because this note just makes it A harmonic minor. So, very short sequence, very easy to play fast. The difficult thing is that kind of movement. See? Now, to add a little bit, I could do like it A minor pentatonic. And here's A minor pentatonic as well. Makes it sound a little Chinese, but just to explain the exercise. What I'm doing is I'm looking at my right hand. So, this is the octave. So when I'm doing like playing on the 5th position and playing at the 17th position, just an exercise is like doing only minor pentatonic shapes, which could be like the 17th fret here. And then I'm going to use the E minor as well on that. And I'm going to use the A minor here. This hand stays just in the A minor position on the 5th, the A minor shape on the 5th position. Here I'm going to switch between A minor and E minor. So very slowly, I could, for instance, do this. Now you hear I kind of make, in the beginning, I play these 3-note sequences. You hear that very clear, like it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But then I change. I make it like a 4. And then I go back to 3. And then I go to 5. And then I go back to 3 and to 4. Which makes it sound more interesting. Like, that could be 4. Here I'm going to go to 3. What I'm doing here is this kind of thing. Is just a place where I change the beat, when I change the rhythm. I go like, see, like this is go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You're in this 3 kind of feeling. Here again, but I'm not doing this finger, so I'm staying at 2 and then 3. 2 and 3 is 5, so 3, 3 and 5, which is, if you can count good, says like 11. If I can count good, yeah, it goes like, see? Something like that. If you hear it in the music, it's going to sound really, really nice, because you get this kind of little directions on a certain straight beat. These little directions this lick is going every time. Then we have another thing. It's like repeating a note. It's a very good thing to make a rhythm going differently. For instance, very easy exercise. Now if I'm playing 8, 10, 12, 17, so if I'm going to play the 17th note that I'm tapping with my right hand, I'm going to play that double, I get this. I'm going to speed that up. I get this. See? That's something as well. Now another thing I'm going to play, and this is a very nice tapping lick as well, is I'm going to use the one string thing we had. I'm going to use a 6-note shape with my left hand, which will be like this. The same shape we were doing in the beginning. Go. Do all these positions. Then I'm going to add with my my right hand a note. So if I do this. You can go up all the neck if you want to. What I'm doing here is I'm playing 6 notes, but I'm giving every time in a 4-canted beat measure an accent. So if I speed that up, it's going to be sounding like this. Well, this last part, this last lick, we're going to do involving these 2-hand techniques and this legato playing and this tapping thing is a very long lick. So I think I'm going to play it first and then I'm going to explain what I'm doing. It starts off like this. So if I'm rephrasing what I did, I can divide this in 4 different things. What I do in the beginning is this kind of sequence, which is a 6-note sequence for my left hand, with a tapping thing. At this point, I'm going to change, because if not, my fingers are going to get crossed because all the frets are going to be too little. So I'm going down again in a 3-note sequence, which is this. Once I arrive at that point, I'm going to go down in an A minor pentatonic position with an E minor pentatonic tapping sequence on that. So the thing we had, and then I'm going to change to A minor Dorian flat 5 scale, which is this one. I'm going to tap the 10th and the 12th position on that. I'm going to go down. Then when I'm going to go up again, I'm going to go through this scale, the one we did. It's like, and then going down again is going to go like. So if I do that part, the going down part, slowly, it's like this. So it's always this kind of 2 tap notes. Do that slow again. So, once again, the whole thing. So you hear the differences between the 6, the 3, the 4, and the 6 one, the 8-note sequence going up and the other one going down. It goes like this.